All right, welcome back. Questions 11 through 20. Up next is going to be a right Joplin bunionectomy with proximal metatarsal osteotomy. All right, so that's a lot of terms right there, right? So let's just start with a bunionectomy. Joplin is probably the type of bunionectomy, but we can just focus on the term bunionectomy and then start there. All right. So again, you could go to the B's or in your index, or we could just type in and search the word bunionectomy. Probably not a whole lot of entries. All right, I'm good with that. So there's just one entry in the musculoskeletal section. Certainly could just start there for start our journey there, or we could go into your index as well, right? And you could review the codes that are listed. Now, when I looked up bunionectomy and searched the index, it was listed under arthrodesis. Where else would have been listed at? Yeah. So I think I'm going to save myself the hunt, since it only appears one place in the musculoskeletal section, and then see what I can find here. All right. Proximal metatarsal osteotomy. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so this one says with distal metatarsal osteotomy. All right. Code is out of numerical sequence C28292 through 28298. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Woo. Listen to your book. Let it guide you. So one of the codes from the index, what they're telling you is hey, this code has been resequenced, so it's out of numerical sequence now. So now if you're looking for 29825, go see in between 29892 and 28298. So you just scroll, and this little pound sign right here, this is what tells you, oh man, highlighted the whole section. Anyways, that pound sign is what tells you that that code has been resequenced from a different area inside of your book. It doesn't affect our coding, right? We're still going to choose that 28295. Just took us an extra second to look it up. So that's the detail. Proximal metatarsal osteotomy, check, check, check. And then that's your final answer there, 28295. Still working on trying to figure out how to unhighlight. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, on my own time. Okay. Let's look up number 12. We've got a repair of a severed collateral ligament right ankle. Okay. So ligament repair, that's what I'm thinking. Ankle ligament repair. If I could spell. Nice. All right. So it brought us to some couple entries inside the musculoskeletal system. The first thing that I just noticed here, this detail of collateral, it does show up here and it shows up here. So, and they all are on the same page. So I typed in under the search ankle ligament repair, and this is what came up for me. So perfect. Let's go over and see what this is described as. Ankle collateral. Perfect. Oh, there's our, okay, so they're calling it disrupted here, but severed, disrupted. Okay, we're going to keep those. Those are synonymous with each other. All right, so there we go. Repair. This says primary. Okay. Disrupted ligament, ankle, collateral. Ah, okay. So 27696 says both ligaments. And since this was just the right ankle, we're just going to go with 27695. 27695. Number 13, a knock knee osteotomy. Uh, left detail before closure. So this is telling me something. This makes me think that's going to be a specific detail that's going to be included inside my final code. I'm going to go osteotomy, knee, or even knee osteotomy. Let's see what comes up. Oh, I don't want that comma in there. All right, so came up with some options in my musculoskeletal section. Two of them or three of them are on page 193 in my search results. That says tibia. I don't want that. I want knee. Oh, there's knock knee right there. Oh, and then it says before closure. All right, look at that. So again, a couple different ways. You could go to your index. You could do a full search, right? It's good to go through the index, though, just so you can get comfortable with the layout. However, many different ways that you can achieve the right answer with the CPT book. So I'm seeing a lot of those details right here. I've got before closure, knock knee. I think this is a good place to start at. Let's see what we got. 27455, osteotomy. And then it says proximal tibia, including fibular excision or osteotomy, includes correction. Oh, okay, there we go. Or osteotomy of genu varus, genu valgus, knock knee. Okay, so genu valgus is knock knee. And then the detail before closure. There we go. Okay. And we just learned something new. Genu valgus is knock knee. Great. Okay, so 27455. Lengthening Achilles tendon. Great. So I could go Achilles tendon lengthening. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to copy that whole thing in here and just see how sometimes if you're too specific, it takes you nowhere, or if you're too specific, it's going to narrow it down. You got to narrow down your keywords and you might not find anything, or you're going to get really lucky and only have one entry. I love it. Check it out. All of these come from the same page in my search. So I like this one. It's got that lengthening keyword in it. Let's go and check it out. No, I don't like it. Yeah, it has Achilles tendon lengthening, but that says with or without. So the base procedure arthrotomy is not fitting. It says with or without this. Oh, look at this right here. See also 27685. Okay, let's just scroll down here and see what 27685 is. There we go. 27685. Lengthening or shortening of tendon, leg or ankle, single tendon. So specifically, this is just the Achilles tendon. All right. And that's that tendon that's in the back of like in the back of your ankle or back of your leg. And you can kind of feel it when you can run your hand over, you can flex your foot and you can feel that Achilles tendon. All right. So final answer for us is going to be 27685. All right. Oh, I experienced this. I have had a trimalleolar fracture. And I've had my fracture manipulated. It is a strange sensation. Of course, there was lots of pain medication involved, but still a strange sensation. Okay, so basically what that is when you break all the lower leg bones. Yes. That's why you don't put 40-year-old women on skateboards. Okay. But I've survived, right? I'm still here. I got about 12 screws and 2 plates in my leg, but I'm rocking and rolling. No longer on skateboards though. Okay, anyways. Let's go to, I'm gonna go to trimalleolar fracture and just see what I find there. With, this one says without manipulation. I'm just going to click on that because I'm curious. If they have one without, they probably have one with manipulation. Yeah, there we go. So in this scenario, manipulation was all they did. So this would not be an open treatment, right? That would include what I described, where there was fixation involved. They, made an incision, etc. But if all they did was manipulation, 27, or yeah, if all they did was manipulation, 27818. So closed treatment, trimalleolar ankle fracture, stop, semicolon, with manipulation at 27818. A guillotine amputation, left tibia fibula. All right. I think I'm just going to look up this word. I bet there's not very many entries with this term. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes too much produces nothing. Let's go to amputation and then start looking for um, tibia, fibula. Of course, we know this is bone. We could scroll right down to the musculoskeletal system section. All right. And here's and fibula. These are all on the same page. I'm just going to check it out here and see what I come up with. There's the type, guillotine right there. All right, so now we have parent code 27880, amputation, leg, through tibia and fibula, stop at the semicolon, and then come down here. So even though it doesn't say open circular, the guillotine is the open circular type amputation. All right, so 27882. All right, up next, we've got the application of a long arm splint. So I'm just going to come up here and type in long arm splint and application. I'm just going to go right over to the musculoskeletal section. Oh, I love it when my whole book is highlighted. Can't see anything. All right. 29105 application long arm splint, shoulder to hand. There you go. Left sesamoid fracture, closed treatment. Now you have sesamoid bones in your hands and your feet. Little fun facts there. Let's see here. I'm just going to look up this term. Nice. Okay. And then closed treatment. Perfect. I'm just going to go right there. Oh, another page where I've highlighted my whole book. 28530, closed treatment, sesamoid fracture. There you go. All right. 28530. 19. A walker applied to a previously applied cast. So a walker. I'm just going to look up the word walker. Start there. Here's some index entries. Sounds like a good starting point. And then we've got some choices here. A 29355. This is obviously under the casting section. 29425 and 29440. So best thing to do when you got 3 options, you got to go check them all out, right? And you could also just write down You might be able to just go click back, but I'm not really sure. I just recommend writing the codes down. But since I'm here, there we go. 29440, adding walker to previously applied cast. All right, so out of those three options you were provided from your index, the appropriate choice would have been 29440. All right, final question. IP is going to be interphalangeal. All right, so right great toe, anatomic site, interphalangeal joint arthrodesis. So I'm just going to start with joint arthrodesis. And that's pretty specific. It'll get us started, and then we can get to toe or foot, something more specific from there. Now I'm in the musculoskeletal section, just through my search bar scroll. And I'm going to go toe, because I'm not really finding what I'm looking for. There we go. And then there's that IP, interphalangeal arthrodesis. This is great toe, but meta, we don't want that one. I think it's going to be over here. There it is right there. So base code 28750, arthrodesis, great toe, fantastic. Stop at that semicolon. And then interphalangeal joint 28755. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Yeah, this is it. So, in week 5, you'll have your regular CPT coding quiz, and then of course you've got your final exam that's going to include ICD-10 and CPT as well. So I hope all of these tutorials have been helpful and supportive for you in your coding journey, and I wish you the best of luck in your next term and on your final. All right, have a great rest of your week.